Now let's begin the story.
I ain't your average cat. I slap box with lions. Ever since the 5th grade, kickball with tires. Made a mini fortune off a ripped off appliance. Money when it's stove back, hit dog with irons. Boogie need to find God. Shit dog, I'm trying. That's why I robbed the Deacon house. Man, quit your lying. I did it.
Brand new!
H-Town's finest, the 16 Shots podcast with Young James Boogie and AR Dub.
I know you're gonna dig this.
I'm a massage therapist. I have a background with stretch therapy, Reiki healing, and I'm mainly like a life coach, if I put it that way. So I do a bit of everything.
Oh man, so that's great. What brought you to Houston?
So this was out of the place. I was working one day with a client back in Atlanta, Georgia, and she was talking about, listening to the voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, during my meditation or so, something just kept saying, go back out and come back in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that was. It just hit me, go back out and come back in. So I felt, okay, what does that mean? So I was playing with the mark on my desk, and I kept going. It kept going. I closed my eyes, and I stopped, and it went to Texas. So I said, okay, I have to pick a place in Texas. So I had 4 cities in the paper: Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston. I flipped the coin, and it fell in Houston.
Oh
said,
wow! You almost messed up real bad, man. If you ended up in San Antonio, oh my God, bro.
No, San Antonio not that bad though, man. San Antonio not a bad place Mexican. To land, bro. Huh?
It's Mexican.
I mean, but
it's little Mexico.
You say you were a massage therapist?
Yes.
Hey man, it's not a bad place to be a massage therapist at. You know what I'm talking about? Are you
San Antonio?
Are you single, my brother?
Yes, I am single.
Hell, boy, you
in this profession, sometimes you just need to be by yourself.
I bet. You know what I'm saying? I bet.
You don't want the jealous partner.
Stretching out baddies, you know what I'm talking about? Especially if you do like house calls.
In San Antonio,
I do house calls, definitely.
Oh, hold on, Bug. Hold on. He do house
calls.
In San Antonio, man.
I give the service, but no happy endings. That's different.
In San Antonio, man. I mean,
hey, man, they're letting flavor out there, man.
Bruh. I used to live in San Antonio. You forget this, right?
Nah, I ain't talking about this 1974 San Antonio. We talking about 2023, 2024 San Antonio.
I just left San Antonio a couple weeks ago. It's not a knock on anything Mexico. I'm just saying that different cultures have different ways of viewing like how to interact or how to it's different, and San Antonio is little Mexico, bro. It's little Mexico. That's for massage therapy. Man. Over Houston, Dallas, Austin. Yeah.
I'm not saying. Yeah. No, I'm not saying that it would be number 3,
number 4. But Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, it'd be number 4.
It could have been worse. He could have flipped on Odessa.
Oh, see, that don't even count. That don't even count.
That's why that's just 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to San Antonio, though. Like I said, I went to school there and I lived there for a while. San Antonio's cool. Dallas is, fuck Dallas, of course.
But that's because you're from Houston, though. I mean, if you actually land in Dallas and you're not a native Texan, Dallas is not a bad spot to land in. I just don't like Dallas.
I mean, because you're not crazy, but anybody with good sense is gonna be like, forget Dallas. We already talked about the whole Houston Dallas thing, so he knows that it's a playful jab, but we have to stay strong. We cannot break character with fuck Dallas. It's like the Jets and the Giants. It's like the Hatfields and McCoys. It's like the Kardashians and Kanye. You can't not. You have to keep the face on at all times.
Yeah.
Can you land? Well, hold on. I thought Funky Town was cool though. I thought Fort Worth is cool. It's just you can't live in Dallas. So Fort Worth, Arlington is cool. You just can't
No.
live in Dallas.
Dallas City.
That's like no, that's like
Okay.
saying spring is cool. Like, no, man. Spring is a suburb of Houston, so it's part of it's in the metroplex. It's part of Houston, so it's Houston. Anything connected, touching, cousins, best friends with Dallas, we don't like, bro. We can't nothing. We don't like nothing in Dallas, man. Dallas gets no love. What do you say? Don't play that in my car.
I lived in Dallas for a little hot second, bro. Hot second.
Yeah.
And I was in the Oak Cliff area.
See what I'm saying? Hey, you first off, you don't really live in Dallas because they got zoning, so you can't if you live in Dallas, you're either really rich or broke, or you're not, like, there's no in between area in Dallas because they have zoning. So all the high end stuff, or you have zoning, so you have living areas, you have business areas. You know what I'm saying? So at Oak Cliff, you live in Oak Cliff, bro? What you was doing in Oak Cliff?
Paul Quinn.
See what I'm saying?
College,
what I'm saying?
Paul Quinn, and it was right. It was in Oak Cliff. You know what I'm talking about? So you say you lived in Georgia? How did you like? I'm assuming you lived in Atlanta.
Yes, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, man. I stayed in Atlanta for about a year, bro, and everybody in Atlanta is either a celebrity,
Mm-hmm.
an aspiring actress or actor, a trainer, real estate, or scammer. Mostly scammers.
Yeah, mostly scammers. That's why I say fake celebrities.
Yeah. Everybody got an 04 Bentley, bro. You know what I'm talking about? 04 Bentley.
Baby back, the baby mama Benz.
Yeah, the strippers. I mean, if you're a stripper out there, though, you're lucrative out there if you're a stripper. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever had any clients that are in the sex work?
Yes.
And do they need a different? I would think they would need they would need more work. No,
you'd be very shocked. So people, most of my clients, back there are strippers. Now I used to think strippers were they just go and get on the pole and do the thing, and it's like being a gymnast.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was saying. Like, they need more work because they do so much physical activity.
Yes. Yeah. And so when I'm working with them, I don't go with that's a tight body. No, you go with this is a very hard work. Because when you get on your table, they'll just let you know, I'm not here to be rubbed on, I'm here to be broken down.
Yeah.
So it's tough love. Like, I used to not like strippers before. I would never work with them. But when I walked with my first stripper, and I realized she's like a soccer player or a football player that I work with. Like, they go through a lot just to make the entire dance look sexy. And then she's risking her life, going on the top of a pole, tries to come down, catches herself, and then she's walking on this 6 or 7 or 10-inch heels. And then when she gets back, she's sweating, her ankles are aching, her back, everything. And then she has to go home and breastfeed the kid. And then you have the brother on the side saying, okay, how was today? All right, get into bed. So she doesn't have time for herself.
See, I thought I was thinking the same thing. Like, the high heels and the back and the poles, that has to be that painful. Like, I mean, it has to be,
right there.
Yeah,
neck, shoulder, and lower back.
Yeah, it has to be. I'm due, man. I've been thinking this for the last 3 or 4 months. I am super due, super due. But I've never had a professional. Well, I've had maybe 1 or 2, but that's another conversation. But yeah, I because being a athlete, former athlete, being athletic, being always on the go, literally lifting things every day. I'm lifting maybe 400 or 500 pounds every day, and not having that breakdown. It's not good.
How much you lifting every day?
At the very least, 400 pounds a day. At the least.
What are you doing?
Easily.
What are you doing?
I'm lifting tires, trees, beds, couches.
What are you doing?
It's like a moving company.
No. We do illegal dumping. So
okay.
Yes. So I just got my first client. I got my first client yesterday. who had that same service. So I had a big table at my office. I needed to move out. I rented an office space, and the guys came in. They couldn't move that thing out. They had to break it down. And by the time he was done, I saw the twist, and I asked him a question. When was the last time you saw a chiropractor? He said, I have never done that. How many years have you done this job? He said, close to 12 years. When did you get a massage last? He said, he has never gotten one. And you can see him, he was probably in his late 20s, but he looked like an old man.
Yeah.
And people don't understand. You do all this work, you need to take care of your body.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned the hard way that, take that table, that oak table or that oak thing, and instead of me trying to lift it, break it down, because your pride tells you just pick it up. You can pick it up, but all that stress you putting on your back and on your shoulders and on your knees and on if you feel it after a week, after a day, after a month, after a year. So yeah, get that sledgehammer or whatever and bow, 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 or get that boot, kick that thing in. But yeah, man. So when did you decide that what brought you? I'm gonna get to the life stuff, the life coach stuff, because I think that's very, very interesting. But when did you decide? How did you get into massage therapy?
So, funny enough, I'll tell you a very short story. I'll make it very quick.
Yeah.
So, in as I said, 2010 or 2011, so I got in a car accident. I was paralyzed, and the doctor said I would never walk again. So, I finally gave up everything. And my neighbors who were Indians, they said, well, you've given up on, modern medicine. Would you like to try a holistic part of it? And at that point, I had nothing to leave for, so I felt, okay, I'll just do it. So I went to India, and the old man, he was about 102 or so, and he said, throw everything you think you know away. At this point, you know nothing. You are nothing, but you will become something. So at that point, I was like, you're just talking and saying whatever you want to say. So he said, I do not use modern medicine. All he would use is herbs, meditation, stretching, massages. It took this man almost 2 years or so, but discovered the problem. It wasn't my body mainly, it was my brain. Part of my brain from the accident was still in shock.
Yeah.
But through the stretching, the movement, the meditation, the rebuilding of the mind, my body reset itself, and the mind's like working again. And then I got my healing, and I have a master's degree in public relations, right? And then when I got back to life, I was still using a cane. I realized something. I couldn't type. I still cannot type to today. And so one day I was telling the doctor I couldn't do certain things, and he said my motor skills was damaged, and I said, oh my God. So one day, my friend, a female friend, comes by, and we were just hanging out. Well, I realized I would caress her hand, but my hands were not locked. And I gave her a foot massage. My hands were fine. And I said, can I try something? And I looked at like a video, and I would just follow what they did. And I realized I gave her like a 20 minutes massage, and nothing went wrong. So I went back to the doctor, and he said, it's a new skill, but it's something your mind has accepted. So I left England, I came to America. I got my certification after 2 or 3 years. And since then, I started evolving into other things. I realized massage is not, it became like an office job. I got tired of it. I just come in, do the thing and go. But one day I discovered something. I went to a yoga studio. I hate yoga, I still hate it. I couldn't stretch to save my life.
Yeah.
And I was complaining. I was like, I wish someone could stretch me. And the lady by my side said, they have stretch labs and stuff like that. So I went to a stretch lab, and I found out what they call assisted stretching. So I got certified within 5-6 months. I incorporated stretching into my massage. So when you come into my studio, you're not just getting just a massage, deep tissue, or whichever massage you're trying to get. I would always give 15 minutes to just stretching the body. So by the time I get into the massage, you're already loose. And at this point, you're like, okay, just kill me already. And then I finished that. And then I just kept going. And then one day, I remember something the old man used to do when I was paralyzed. He would just meditate, and he would do some kind of silent healing, like some kind of incantation. But I don't believe in spiritual things. I'm not a religious person. And then I found out about, I knew about Reiki, but I never believed in it. So I started looking for ways where I can heal people without doing the magic or using the crystals and all of that. And I found breath work. So I use breathing exercise so people get into it. And so, over time, I just try to improve myself. Massage saved my life, if I put it that way.
Man, I don't know if I know I said this before to you, Doug, but man, a dancer, whatever you want to call it, stripper, dance, whatever, told me a long time ago, it's like, stretch before you go to sleep every night. And I was like, and I'm thinking that's just, and she was like, nah, or whatever. And I used to do it all the time, but your whole entire sleep is different and then your whole entire wake up is different if you stretch before you go to sleep every night. Stretching is an underrated thing. That's neat, man. I have the conversation with people sometimes, and they think I'm being an asshole when I say it. I'm like, man, it's your mind. Like, whatever you think is wrong with you is your mind. Like, whatever you think it is, like, and somebody will tell you that, oh, you have this whatever or whatever. If you want to, you can think yourself into whatever you want physically, like even to the point where you can project what you want. I mean, and that's not even magical or but
it's in your tongue. It's right there. And when you say it, your brain registers it. So if you tell yourself, I want to make 100,000, you say it, right? Your ears hear it. Your mind takes it in. So now your mind starts doing the math. All right, I want to make 100,000. How do I make 100,000? So now you start with, okay, I can make $100 every day, right? From making $100, you're saving $100 every week. At some point, you save $1,000, and you'd be like, oh, if I do this 10 times, 10 months, what will I make? And then you do it for 10 months. That's 10,000, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I just keep saving 1,000 every month, and you'll be surprised when you keep saving that $1,000 every month, right? You just grind whichever way. You keep saving it. You put that $1,000 into a savings or something and let it work for you, right? Or you buy maybe like life insurance, for instance, right? And you make that life insurance start trading and working for you. You'd be surprised. You put 10,000, you already have 30,000, and it keeps growing. But your mindset is, I want to make 100,000 by 5 years' time. It's all in how you say it, how you think about it, and how you project it. So when you give yourself a word, I want to buy a new car, for instance, you have options. What kind of car do I want? What model? What year? What mileage? So you get to the car lot. Oh, I want a green one, now a pink one, a blue one. Now, in your life, when you say something, give yourself options. So when you say, oh, I want a new girlfriend. Okay, what kind of girlfriend? Do you want the one that will give you trouble, or the one that will be good in bed, or the one that would financially push you to become a better version of you, right? So you have to think of what options do I want. Now, in doing all of these things, there's one thing you should put in mind. You know that thing called failure?
Yeah.
That everyone is afraid of?
Yeah.
Do not be afraid of it, because it's part of the whole thing. Expect yourself to fail. So I'll use your job as an example. Remember when you started moving for the very first time, you were not good at it. Like probably they were like, oh, this rookie, he's going to give up in 1 week. Guess what you did? you kept trying over and over, right?
Yeah.
One day you would lift something and it would fall, and you'd be like, "Ah, no," and then you try it again. So I always accept failure. I've accepted defeat. I'm like, yeah, I would fail, but guess what? I would try again because I have time. So it's the mouth, the mind, options, and your time.
I get that. That makes sense. We have that. I have that conversation in a way. A good friend of mine used to always say, "There will be adversity." We said I have a team program as well, or a youth
Okay.
program, and we had a set of teams a couple years ago, and there comes a time as a young man when you have to start. Well, somebody has to put the realities of life in front of you, right? As a young person, it's coddled to you. They don't tell you, it's given to you. But then as a young man, it's kind of time when somebody has to say, hey man, this is what it is. This is what it is, and this is the harsh reality that we live under, whether it be, sports or whatever it is, right? And so that's something that we talk about all. I've started doing with younger kids as well, but tell them
Yeah.
that there's gonna be an obstacle. Like I don't know much about everything, but I
Yeah.
do know the only constant that I can tell you for sure is going to be change and obstacles, no matter where you're at. So
Yeah.
once you accept that those obstacles will be there, I'm no longer I'm not mad at the obstacle. I'm not upset or flustered with it. I knew it was gonna be there. I can accept it. Oh, I had a problem here. Okay, boom. Now, instead of me worried about the obstacle or the adversity, I'm worried about the solution, or I'm not even worried. I'm thinking about the solution. The worry is not there no more. I knew it was going to be there when I woke up that morning. Going to wherever I'm going is going to be an issue. I know it's going to be traffic. It's going to be something, right?
Yeah.
So now the fun in the day is finding out how I'm gonna get through that. Oh yeah, they try to get me here. This that so and so. Oh, I got over that though, and now my recollection of the day is not the bad things that happened. My recollection is the good things that I did to get out, or the way I got out of it. Just a positive outlook. But it's difficult to present when you have people who have outside forces who are telling them, doom and gloom. Oh, you going to hell? All these doom and gloom things, and you're like, hey man, the positivity is gonna get you through. The negative is gonna be, it's always gonna be something that always. But I mean, yeah, that's man. I have that conversation literally all the time, and I'm like, man, it's your mind, man. It's your mind. It's your mind. It's your mind. It's
Yeah.
your mind. So, what are some of your creative inspirations? I mean, you already spoke about your 100-year-old
So some of
savior.
my inspirations has been every day I strive to learn.
Yeah.
I've not restricted myself to just being a massage therapist. I've also ventured into physical therapy, but also ventured into life coaching because I see, for instance, the youth, right? Back in Atlanta, I had this neighbor who had 5 or 6 kids, and all she would do to her kids is send them out to go and play, right? And when it was time for them to have their assignments done, they had to share one laptop, right? And
Yeah.
so I would hear them, complain outside. So one day I gave to them a laptop. And then one of the kids said, oh, I wish we had, someone we could look up to that can teach us the way. Our mom is always working, so she doesn't have time, but we need something. So I started mentoring, people who just needed help. And I became what I would call an active listener. So I'm that person, anyone can call me from any part of the world and say, hey, I'm having a rough day. And I just let him talk. It's kind of like therapy, with your psychologist. And I just let him talk. But while they're talking, I tell them one thing, listen to yourself. You have to record that conversation, record it. And then once they're done talking, I would have them play that conversation so they listen to themselves talk. And I asked them, you know why I had you play and record it? And they say, no, I said, there's only one person that can advise you. There's only one person that can challenge you. There's only one person that can help you. When you look in the mirror, you don't see many. You see you. So you have to get yourself up, Don't worry about the authority around what you're looking for. Go for it. And I started doing that, and it pushed me to looking for mentors in my own self. I started looking for people that would help me understand more about being charitable. I started volunteering for different things, helping the homeless, the poor. It's not just money. It helped me understand. It helped me understand there's more to friendship than just hanging out and drinking. You can be friends with someone in your job-related life. You can be friends with someone in something that you have your mindset on. Like I volunteer to the homeless, like the food shelter and all of that. And every day I look for people who are greater than me. Because I feel when I meet these great minds, right, even though we're in different fields, but that connection I have with that person will make me feel like I'm a great mind. It's kind of like, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So if you hang around...
This guy over here who's not showing his face right now, we were having a talk, I think last show before last, and now we were talking about musicians who we want to do music with.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, Lauryn Hill, Stevie Wonder, and I forgot who I said. And he was like, man, no, man, you can't sing well enough, or you wouldn't be able to with Stevie Wonder and Lauryn Hill. And I'm like, no, I don't have to have the talent to be able to match them. But I'm saying that if these creative minds get in the same room, I think I have a creative mind. I don't know if so if two creative minds get in the room and are open to, there's no telling what can happen. There's,
yes, definitely.
So I think that I like what you're saying, but I want to have a counter to what you're saying, or to ask you, what happens when somebody has a high self, they think of themselves higher than they really are. So the voice they're hearing in their head is telling them, like this guy might say, my voice is telling me I'm a great singer, and I shouldn't be listening to their voice. How does one be real or be honest with oneself and not be a hindrance to their own ascension?
Okay, so it's like this. College, right? When you go to college or to any school, what they do is tutor you on how to be a better person in this profession and in that profession, right? And then you come out of college and realize, I can get a job in that field I studied. I would start driving for Uber and Lyft, right? Now, what is done in that space, it broke your confidence. It's all about self-belief. For kids, it's called inferiority complex, where they feel like they're shy because they cannot do it. Now, there's something I tell people, you know that word they say, I cannot? Take it out of your dictionary and say the word, I haven't tried it yet. Because if you go to hoop, for instance, right, and you don't know how to play, you probably will be bad. But when you practice a couple of times, right, you get the best out of you. So when you have an idea and you say, okay, I want to sing, I want to be an artist, I want to be a producer. But people say, hey, no, you're no good. Now, how do you prove to them that you're better than what they think? You have to be real with your own self. Now, you tell yourself, okay, I have this challenge now. The world has challenged me and said, I am no good. I am not going to try to impress them. That's one thing you should put in mind. Do not impress anyone. Impress you. I'll put my talent out there, right? It starts from, like, for instance, a 1-minute video every day. I'll put a video out there and I'll sing a song, teach myself how to play the guitar, learn how to play the piano. And every day I'll just sing one tone to someone's song. I'll just make a cover of that song. Right, you make one cover, you make the second one. You keep making videos, you post it on YouTube. Now, you start as that shitty guy who could not sing, right? And then one day, someone who just listened to one song and they feel like, wow, that song just spoke words to me. They don't know you. And you don't know that person might be a Pharrell Williams. And he said, I watched some funny video, but the words of that song, you've heard that song where they say, Ashley, look at me. Have you heard that thing? It's on TikTok or something. And then they dance and it's like, Ashley, it's from The Boys, right?
Yeah,
but it was just a sentence someone made into an actual song.
Yeah.
And it's going around on the internet. So when you get the word, you're not good enough, take it back. Bring out your drawing board. Put that word on the very top. They said, don't put the word, I'm not good enough. Put that word, they said, I'm not good enough. Now, on the other side, I would prove I can do this. Now, you write all the negatives, the things that they say you can never accomplish. Write them on one part. And then the other side, write things you think you can do. Like you tell yourself, I would learn to play I know how to play the guitar. So it means you have to practice. You have to give yourself that encouragement. Every time you would fail, but you keep trying. And then one day someone will see the best in you. Now, let's tell everyone, no one is perfect. It takes one person to see the best in you. It might be your 7-year-old kid. It's like, oh, my daddy's been trying to play the guitar every time. He's not good, but I'll post his videos. And it starts as a funny video every time. Oh, this guy always misses the keys. But this funny video, the son does something to the video and it looks nice. Add some auto-tune to it and it comes out with something nice. Now, that alone will inspire you and you're like, is that me? Yes. Your mind, for some reason, it's like a machine. It transforms like an actual transformer machine, and it becomes into something great. And you're like, okay, I have the tools now. I have the confidence. It takes a spark. All you need is take that negative word. You cannot do it. Turn it into, I haven't tried it. And then teach yourself, I can do it.
I see. I deal with that as well. So, not me, but I see. Like I said, I work with young people as well, and I see in the sports faction of it that a lot of adults want to transfer their aggression or their passion through the child. Like, oh, if I yell loud enough, if I keep screaming, if I and I'm like, you can't make somebody want something more than they want it.
Yeah.
And even if you can verbally or quote on, to me, I call it bullying. Even if you can bully a kid into being better, you've really broken that kid. Because now the only response that he's gonna respond to is bullying. You can't come to that kid and be like, hey, let's try this. Because they've been accustomed and taught that this is the way I gotta hear it. It's like not Stockholm syndrome, but it's like I'm teaching you bad habits and you don't know any other habits. So now when you get a good habit, and this is I think what happens in the schools a lot right now. What happens like if mom's been calling you out your name since you were 4 years old, 5 years old, you get to school and they say, sir, Mr. Manny, please sit down. You're not gonna respond to that.
No.
Why would you? You have no reason to. You're gonna be like, man, fuck you, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? My mom talks to me crazy. And she also told me that you can't talk to me crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like I like a lot of what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense. But I did hear you mention The Boys. So and I saw that we had Marvel 97 and first off I have to ask you, have you seen any of the Marvel 97 the reboot of the X-Men, Marvel 97?
No. I wouldn't lie to you. When it comes to movies and TV, this brother had the backseat.
Oh man, Dub, have you seen any of the X-97?
Who you asking me?
Yeah, Dub.
You should know the answer to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what? Another piece is my bad. This entire time, I thought I had my camera on. And
I was sitting there.
You was like the guy who's not. I'm like, Who not on camera? You know what I'm saying? Because I got a little setup where I got two setups. I got like I have a setup where my camera's on and I can edit my screen. And I'm like, who we talking to? And I look like, oh shit. So yeah.
Nah, no problem, no problem, man. So we'll leave all the because it's a lot of stuff been going on, and I'm looking at the '97 X-Men. Invincible came back. It's that season when the show's coming back, and you know, I'm just for I'm an information junkie. So I love to take in information, whether it be TV, movies. I listen to talk radio a lot. I like to hear perspectives and information. So I feel like it gives me an ability to be able to decipher situations better. You know, if I'm a lot of times I think people when they're talking to other people about stuff, they're coming from a perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's like 17 sides to everything. It's 100 sides to everything. It's the side that you feel, side, and so, and of course, the different stations of life that you have different perspective of things. Like 15 years ago, I'd be like, I ain't picking up no trash. You know what I'm saying? But now I look at it, I'm like, I'm not picking up trash, bro. This is something that is a problem in our city, and this is leading. It's the so many different things that come from this. You're talking about rats. You're talking about property value, devalue. You're talking about neighborhoods being forgotten because somebody's like, man, I'm just going to put this here. You know what I'm saying? So the perspective, and also now when I'm telling young people like, hey, we're going to go do this beautification project, you know, it sounds like, oh, we're going to do a beautification project, but then somebody's like, you picking up trash? I'm like, yeah, what you think beautification is, man? Like, I mean, but like I said, perspective is everything, and so I think that part. So going leading into the information and stuff, have you? I know you said you didn't get a chance to look, but how versed are you on the Diddy situation?
Oof. So there's always when there's the smoke, there's a fire.
Yeah.
Right? People have been saying their own version of different things, right?
Yeah.
And the man has not made it easy. Guess what he did? He fled, right?
Yeah.
And then we see the law get into his house. With all of this happening, right? He has not said anything.
Yeah.
Right? He has not defended himself. He's not said.
Yeah.
It started from a rumor of he might be gay, and
Yeah.
that's where all of this started from. From one man, Cat Williams, opened his mouth and said something.
Yeah.
Which brought millions and all of that in views, right? But it made people look into all the things, right? Everything is attached. It was just Cat Williams coming out to vent his frustration about not having been casted in different things, and he was just putting shade on this person or that person. But someone picked something out of context, but made something out of it. Now we're seeing that. We know Diddy throws all these parties, right? I remember when I got to Georgia about 5 or 6 years ago, it was sometime around when they had the Super Bowl there. Diddy was throwing his party, Shaq was throwing his party, Cardi was throwing her party. I got invitations to go to all three parties because I lived in Buckhead then, and I had one of the ladies that does the Atlanta Finn, Wives of Atlanta kind of thing show.
Yeah.
She was a stay-at-home girlfriend, and she was next door. So she said, hey, I've got tickets. Do you want to go? I know people. And I said, no. But I went to Shaq's party, and I saw, great minds. My friends went to Luda's party and Cardi's party. It was fun. And then I asked, what happens in these parties? And she said, I've been to different parties. And then she mentioned Didi's party. It's fun, right? There's drinking, there's connections and all of that. But just like every club and party, there are rooms. People go out to play, right? Now, in these playrooms, there are rules, right? You have to follow the rule. It's kind of like kink, right? You go by consent, and guidance. But in their own circle, there's no consent now. It's just people using their power to say, okay, I know you want to get this role. You want to get this record label. What can you offer me? This has been going on for years. It's not the first time you've heard people to get this role. You have to sleep with that director. You have to sleep with this person. So it's not different if you do it with me. And then they feel like, okay, I won't do it. It's like, okay, simple. I'll just blacklist you. And to just get that bread, to just get that money, the people, you're like vulnerable. You say, okay, I'll do it just this one time. But you know it's never a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And then we always hear stories. This is something that happens in the kink world, the BDSM and all of that. It's something I've witnessed, right? So you can imagine in parties like this, high classified parties like this, things like that happen. When one person uses you to pass it on to the next person.
Yeah.
And then passing on to the next person. And it keeps going like that, right? And at one point when you
I'm sorry, not to
Yeah.
but at what I'm 100%, I'm 100% on both sides of this conversation. Because on one side, I understand, like, if I'm your boss, I shouldn't be able to be like, if you don't come to this party, you're fired.
You're fired. So
But on the other side of it, I'm like, as an employee, I feel like, and it's not a situation where I don't care what you say. I'm not doing X, Y. That's not in my character. So
yeah,
I wouldn't want to be in a situation where that was going on to begin with. So I'm on both sides. I'm 100% on both sides of it.
you know what
The
those
thing-
persons should have done? They should have taken themselves out of that equation. You know, Chris Brown, for instance, he was offered something like this. What did he say? The simple word, no. And guess what Chris Brown is today? He made it by himself with the help of other persons. So
Well, they feel like their talent isn't enough, and I think that we've had this conversation before as well. I'm like, talent is what defines you.
True.
as an individual. So if I come into something super talented, I shouldn't be worried about the extra. My talent is going to get me through the door, and if it doesn't, then I'm not as talented as I thought I was, because they'll put up with some bull. If you're talented, you can do, like, they think that Diddy is talented. They think he's a talented producer, executive, and so and so. So they were putting up with all. It was because it wasn't because of what he had. It was because of the talent that he had, and they knew that his talent to make stars was this. So they put up with it, right? But when they feel like you don't have enough talent anymore, then it's like, oh man, well, I ain't pulling up. Well, I'm on both sides. I'm on both sides of it. What do you think, Doug?
I think talent wise, I think once the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to a talented person, that's when you break ties of dealing with them. And that's going to determine how far you're going to go. That's going to determine the person who's in charge of the project or who was using the talent. So if you're a very talented person, you know, I might have my limitations of how much I'm going to deal with before you're a problem, and it's affecting the overall brand that I'm trying to push. I think with the Diddy stuff, you know, you got two types of people at these parties. You got talented people who are going to make it regardless whether they are pressured to do something or not. And then you have those people who are there looking for a foot in the door and are willing to do any and everything. And I think once they cross that threshold of not going back, they realize they really didn't sign up for this, but they're already in it. And the other piece is, I think people just are into some wild shit. And they didn't realize what they were getting into. I think a lot of these people consented to do these things that they're doing, and one person got paid, so let's jump on the bandwagon. I'm not saying that Diddy is innocent at all. I'm not saying he's innocent at all. If he did some foul shit, he needs to pay for it. But some of these parties, you know, like, this isn't a new thing that came up with Diddy. This has been going on since Diddy has been in the industry. People have always talked. Yeah, people have always talked about Diddy parties. You know what you're going to. Like, right? If I go to a swingers party or a swingers club, I know what I'm getting into before I even step one foot in that door. I know what I'm getting into. If I go to any kind of kink, BDSM dungeon, anything like that. I know what I'm signing up for before I walk in the door.
True.
Like because that's why you're going there. If you go to a BDSM dungeon, you know what you're going there for. You're signing up for that.
Well, then,
So-
okay. On your note, Dub, to piggyback what you're saying, and just to ask the question, what does that say about a lot of our quote unquote stars, or like to say that we've known about Diddy for all these years, and it's people that are still bundling into Diddy. What does it say about those people? Like, if I know that that guy over there is known for XYZ, and I still go over there and mess with that guy, what does it say about me?
Well, I mean, I look at it like this. As far as we know right now, the whole Diddy stuff, he could be facing a trafficking RICO. I don't know. But for the most part, you've heard Diddy has had wild parties, sex is involved, and things like that. It's almost kind of like a sexual oasis. Whatever you are, whatever your flavor of the week is at a Diddy party, you can find it. All right.
Yeah, but
and,
I
and
mean,
it's not,
the
and hold on,
lawsuits
but
are-
let me
yeah.
finish though. It's
Go ahead.
not just a Diddy party. It's a lot of parties in Hollywood, in some of those circles.
Mhm.
You know, these are some of the party favors. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm with that, if I'm with that kind of activity, if that's what I'm looking for, if that's the time that I'm going to go have,
Yeah.
then that's I'm going there.
Mhm.
Well, the allegations that he's facing don't really. I mean,
We don't
What's
even
really-
know because no indictments have even came out. We don't even know.
no, but they have a lawsuit though. The lawsuit.
Those are civil lawsuits. I'm talking.
no.
Those are civil
Let me-
lawsuits.
What he got rated for and what's going on right now is basically stemming from a producer he had who didn't get credits. So the producer said, "Okay, well, I didn't get paid for this, and this, that, and this happened." Right? The trafficking charge is because they have him saying that he told one of his assistants to move some cocaine or a drug from Florida to what you call it. There
are no indictments. We don't. There are no indictments out. We don't know what they found. They don't send Homeland. They don't send Homeland to your house for a civil
Yeah.
investigation.
No, that's what I'm
there's
saying, but-
something. There's more.
But
That's what I'm saying. So
they
we don't
literally
even
said-
know.
They arrested one of his quote unquote runners. Like I said, they arrested him, and that's how young mommy's name come up or whatever, because he was bringing Diddy drugs or types
Oh, you
of
talking about
drugs.
the little white boy who had some coke on him? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was some
well,
bullshit. They were just trying to press him, bro.
What you mean? Oh, that's
He,
what I'm saying.
was
So
in he was in the airport, bro. They was trying to press him, bro.
he got arrested. No, but what the allegation was, or what they pressed him for, is saying that, well, Diddy was buying drugs from him, right?
Yeah.
And so Diddy, when he couldn't get it from him, he was sending somebody else, and the drugs are in Florida, and he said, so that's trafficking. One, the producer also-
was his personal drug dude who that was his personal drug dude they knew that would smuggle personal amounts of drugs and handguns for Diddy when he traveled. Like that was
Yeah,
somebody
that's
who was
illegal.
a part of his entourage. Now
That's
the
illegal.
allegations that they're trying to put far as the RICO are sex trafficking charges that they are
some of those,
looking into.
and some of those are because, okay, so as far as going to parties, it's one thing to go to a party and know I'm looking for. What the dude was saying was that, hey, they putting stuff in my drinks. They giving me drugs, and I can't whatever. He's setting it. He's literally, that's the plan. Him and Cuba Gooden, or this is the whole plan. Hey, I'm gonna put drugs in him and put him in a position and pass them on to you. Like it's not as simple as like I'm going to a wild party and well, as according to in the lawsuit, like one of the lawsuits, because there's a couple of them. I would agree with you if it was like, oh yeah, they going to wild parties and they getting turned out and they ain't liking how it goes, but it's not like that. It's not being portrayed like that. It's basically saying that he has a concerted. This is his plan. Okay, you come to my party, we putting Molly in your drink without you knowing, and then making you go over there and have sex with people.
You
Or
talking about the LaRod dude? That's his name, LaRod. Is that homie name, LaRod?
That's the producer. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for I'm not knocking none he's saying. I'm waiting for the criminal shit to go down. Homeland don't run up in your house for no civil lawsuits. I understand Lil Raw got that going on, and Cassie had her thing that she's cooperating with. They don't run up in your house for civil lawsuits. Homeland
That's what I'm
Security does
saying.
not run up in your houses for
That's what
civil
I'm
So-
lawsuits.
saying.
Drug or human trafficking.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But
So
but it's puzzling to me that they ran up in his house over a week ago, and no indictments have came out at all. Usually, when the feds run up, when the feds ran up in
Young Thug.
no, not Young Thug, well that too, but
Yeah.
when the feds ran up
Yeah.
in Epstein shit, when
Yeah.
they ran up in Epstein shit, homie was
Yeah.
in handcuffs and in jail that day.
Well,
When
it's a different case, though.
that's what.
It's a different case because
It's not
they
a
had
different
been-
case. It's actually the same situation. It's human trafficking and something else. It's really
Yeah,
the
but
same situation. And when they ran up
They
in his
had
house,
they already had that. It's different because they already had A, B, C line. It was like, okay, there was we caught the tail end of the Fed part. I'm saying like just like right now, the same with Young Thug when he got pulled up, like they went up in and went up the feds went and got so and so. It was like a month or two before he went to jail. Like the intricacies of the case are all different because there's so many moving parts. Like you said, there's so many different people who are involved. There's so many people names that are like there's so many people that have that like okay, if I say you're doing these illegal things, right? Cassie, man, I'm suing you for this, that, and the other. These things are illegal. These things aren't morally wrong. These things are against the law, right?
Yeah.
Not civilly, criminally, right? You settle in one day. You don't think as a prosecutor and they'll say, I'm like, hold up, man, hold up. He just settled a case. He really just got out of all these criminal charges by paying money. We know we already have information. Okay, boom, what else? And somebody else come up the same play the next month or 2 months later or how long it take. As a prosecutor, you see those and you're like, okay, this guy has something going on, and we look a certain type of way. The state of New York, wherever he's at, and we don't look into that. The same way if like BMF, I mean, we having $100 million parties, and y'all don't have no taxes behind this. We look crazy, Atlanta police, if we don't come and do something about that. We look like we are in cahoots with them. So we have to do something when it comes to the public eye in that form. Bumpy jump, it happens. Al Capone went to jail for tax fraud, right?
yeah,
They know.
but that's different though. He went to jail for tax fraud because that's the only thing they could prove.
Yeah, but
Do you realize that with this theory, right? There's someone even bigger that has something similar to all of this, and it's going away. JT, Donald Trump has similar things, right?
Yeah.
But no one is doing anything. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing Diddy is doing, which is he has the money to make the cases go away. That's what he has always done over the years. So why is it we're making Diddy's case more serious and we're letting Donald Trump's case just slide?
Yeah, you're not finna indict and put a ex-president in jail who's finna run again.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. I feel what you're
We know
saying.
it's not gonna happen. So it's like that with Diddy.
No.
With Diddy, he won't go to jail because he would use his connections. He has politicians and big people in his pockets.
Of course he does.
People who have secrets that don't want to come out.
And that's really I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but when you think about Homeland running up in his house, when you think about Homeland running up his house, and you think about the powerful people that he is involved with, you're talking about powerful CEOs of entertainment, you're talking about politicians, you're talking about rich, wealthy fucking princes, Prince Harry. So when you start looking at stuff like that and the evidence that he could have, that's why Homeland is running up in his house. Same thing with Epstein. There's the list. There's evidence. There were powerful people.
They're like, we need those
tied to
tapes.
Jeffrey Epstein on tapes, on Manifest, and on everything else. And that shit went away, and it was hush. We don't even know where Ghislaine Maxwell is, bro. That shit went away so quick. It was, and the only person we got was the little fat Prince dude or whatever he was that the royal family was willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I agree, but I feel like historically the story always ends the same. Like even you talking about Epstein, the story ends the same, and we can go back as far as you want to. The story ends the same. Somebody gets a bunch of power, they do a bunch of messed up stuff, they end up either getting killed, killing themselves, or disappearing, and we don't know what happened. The story it repeatedly happens over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
The
just like
issue-
Epstein. Epstein is the same situation. He had politicians, ex-presidents, sitting presidents on those manifests, rubbing elbows with him, having parties on Epstein Island with known underage trafficking. And it ain't like they didn't know. Epstein got charged in the 90s with pedophilia and messing with little kids, bro. And he still kept it going. To the point where he was supposed to be in jail, and they let this man go home and serve his sentence at home, bro. This man was leaving the jail whenever he wanted to. He was leaving jail when he wanted to. So they said, you know what, just serve your sentence at your house. What they do to that?
I feel like, well, I mean, you know, different. The harsh reality is that different levels of society live by different rules. So us saying that he got to go home and serve that happens a whole lot if you got a whole lot of money and a whole and
a whole lot of power, and you got a lot of dirt on the right people. Yeah,
but I'm saying that the dirt that we think is dirt, it's dirt to we can't even fathom saying that somebody went to Epstein Island has a connotation to it, but in the same breath, where else do people of that ilk, where can they sit, where can they go and have conversations?
I don't have to go to an island that has been known to traffic underage kids, bro.
But I asked you again, where do you go?
Wherever I want to go.
No. You don't go to the Met, or you don't go to something public. You don't go to something that we don't even know.
If I'm a billionaire, my house is big enough where I throw my own party and have my own private conversations there, bro. I don't have to go to Epstein Island or anything like that. No.
Hold up. So as a billionaire, you're gonna say, hey, other billionaire, you come to my house, and these people who we're vying for the same dollars, and we're not friends.
That's what a Diddy party is. That's what when they throw the fucking Rock Nation brunch. When the white dude that owns the Philadelphia 76ers has his private parties, these yacht parties every year. That's what that is.
No, that's not.
That's 1,000% what that is.
That's some of this parties that afford those things where you can come do your illegal things.
It's exclusive
illegal things.
This is what this is for. 1,000%.
No. There's the owner of the Sixers being at a party with Meek Mills. That's not the same as Epstein and Bill Clinton and these people who have real power. If I
know how many politicians and CEOs are at these parties with them?
At what parties?
Yeah.
At all of them.
Yeah, they're private parties.
When the owner of the dude that owns the 76, I forgot his name, but when he throws his parties, you got politicians rolling up, you got Jay-Z rolling up, you got the elite of the elite, and they
only the rich go to those parties.
That's a different type of rich, though. I'm saying you talking about. No, I'm saying what you're saying is true, but I'm saying they not talk you think Jay-Z's talking with somebody I'm talking about people who have money that we don't know about, that people who there are hundreds of billionaires that don't do press, that have a lot of influence, and they don't have parties. They don't go to white parties. They don't go to. They have. I was asking you, which is kind of rhetorical, because we don't know where they meet at. So if they do end up meeting at an Epstein Island or something and it might seem like, oh, they're going there for this, but man, now where else can I go where I know for sure that ain't nothing but people who you don't hear the names that they have at Epstein Island. You don't hear about those names. In fact, because a list did come out, and the reason why it didn't blow up because people didn't know they ain't know people on them lists. They're like, who is this? Who is this?
But that's not true.
That is.
That's not true.
Name 5 people that I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there was a list that came out, right? Remember the list? And it was 50 something names deep. Yeah. And if that list would have had names that were more to the kill or to the range of people that we don't know them people, bro.
No,
because
it
them
did.
people-
That's what I'm telling you. It did. It had the likings of the Chris Tuckers, the Will Smiths. You had the Barack Obamas. You had the Clintons. You had English royalty. You had fucking John Legend, Christy Teigen. It was a myriad of all these people from different walks of life and different levels of success.
Yeah. And so
And-
your
it's-
synopsis is that all the people from different life are indulging in this situation, or
Not everyone who goes to the party does the play.
I
That's
don't
what I'm
think I don't
saying.
think everyone who goes to the
No.
parties indulge in
No.
all the party favors. No, I'm not
Yeah.
saying that.
Mhm.
or in the same. I'm saying, and everybody that
But
goes
I
to
am-
Epstein
but
Island
I-
is
but
not.
I'm-
It's not
but I am-
associated with what that is.
But I am saying that people who go to these parties, they might be in the know of certain things that go on. Now, that might be a party after a party. You know what I'm saying? There might be after this
Mhm.
party leave, boom, all right, it's the party closed, but these 20 elites is into what's finna go down, whether if it's
The
money
VI,
talk,
the
whether if it's-
VVIP.
whether if it's money talk, whether if it's sexual situations, whatever it is, it's a party within a party. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that the speculative part, which is so hard to put together, is that we don't know if when they all go to this place or whatever, and because this place has this connotation about it, well, these 8 guys over here might be going to talk about some real stuff, or they might be. We don't know because, like I said, there are conversations and situations that we are not privy to because that's out of our pay scale. And so, and what happens what happens sometimes is that because all we doing is shooting up, is that we throwing theories. We can't we can all we can do is throw theories out there, but we don't know.
You are
That's
correct.
like it's like
but two
that's like
things can
me-
be true. But two things
Yeah.
can be true. Like I heard Denzel
Yeah.
Washington say, I heard somebody say that they had a conversation with Denzel Washington, and
yeah,
you know, Denzel Washington was at a Puffy party too, and the aspiring actor asked him like, "Hey, how do you I've heard these things about these parties. How do you navigate this?" And
Yeah.
Denzel said, "You just got to make sure you leave before you got to make sure you leave 20 minutes before the devil gets there." So
Mhm.
that means I'm
They know.
aware. I am
Everyone
aware
knows.
of the environment that I'm in. And I
Mhm.
am here for networking or whatever because it's an entertainment spot. The who's who of whatever my business is here. So I'm here for that purpose. And I know me and you have been in a situation where it's getting a little weird in here, bro. It's time to bounce because this ain't all part. This ain't our part of the party. When you see that transition to this part and as getting into some other shit that I'm not with,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So no,
But
I
then-
don't
well,
think
okay,
everybody.
but then-
I don't think everybody who goes to these parties
yeah,
are involved in everything that's going on. I do
Yeah.
believe there is a party within a party. I do believe when they say, "Yeah, we in this party," I'm at the Playboy Mansion. But now once you go to the east wing of the Playboy Mansion, it's some rooms with some closed doors, and you got to be prepared to when you walk into that door to be down with what's going down in that door. And I ain't with it, so I'm not even going over there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just stay over here in the foyer, eat the hors d'oeuvres, drink some champagne, and I'm gonna bounce around 10:30. You know what I'm saying?
but then,
Mhm.
okay, I
Party
agree
within a
with you.
party.
But what I'm saying is now when the dossier comes out for the party 10 years later and it says, oh, this party where Kendra blah 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 got assaulted in the back in
Mhm.
room A, well, you was on a dossier and this happened 8 times before you got there and 8 times after you was on dossier. Now when it comes out, because the person who's getting this dossier is most of the time it's not the person that was at the party. It's somebody doing some investigation and saying, oh yeah, all these people came to this party and this happened in the party every time. And we assume, well, they knew that was going on and they was there, but like you said, they was in their room eating hors d'oeuvres and drinking champagne. Right?
You're
It's so
right.
hard.
But
It's so hard to tell who was doing what.
It is, but it gets weird though when your name pops up. When it gets weird when Boogie's name pops up on the itinerary twice. You know what I'm saying? But it gets real
it?
weird. It gets weird. No, I'm saying it's not. Let me rephrase it. It's
Yeah.
not weird when Boogie's name pops up on on the flight plan twice. Yeah, he went
Yeah.
to Epstein Island for 2 parties.
Yeah.
It gets weird when Dub name pops up on the flight itinerary 47 times. You know what I'm saying? And then not only is it 47 times, but even the New York parties, Dub always there. Florida parties, Dub always there.
But it's still speculative though. 'Cause like I said, I might be
it
going.
is.
They might have
Prime
some
example,
cold
Bill-
hors d'oeuvres,
Well,
man.
hold on,
Like, I
time out,
love the
time out,
hors
time out.
d'oeuvres.
Well, time out. Prime example, Bill Clinton. I use Bill
Yeah.
Clinton.
Yeah.
We know how many we've seen and heard how many times he was a frequent visitor of Epstein Island. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you find out when they raid the New York mansion, you got a big ass picture of this dude in a dress, in a chair. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
to me, that says, oh, you were a frequent partier of this lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm not denying. I'm just saying, like I said, the unique and wonderful thing about life is that it's so unpredictable, right? And like every time we feel like we have the answer, or we know it, or we think it's going, like 3 weeks ago, but like I said, more importantly, what makes it weak to me or makes it weird to me is that people act like a person's discretion is the definition of that person, right? We'll forget everything that person did that was a positive thing, or that was good, or that was healthy. We'll forget if this person does one thing. The harshness of it to me is that's subjective. Even if it's the worst thing you could think of, you can still point to 100 things that person did. Like 10 years ago, man, Diddy was helping reestablish the black community with voting, bro. Like everybody had a vote or die shirt on, man. It doesn't matter what the intentions of or how it was, like we were not voting. It was proven like we're not voting, bro, and we have a chance to. And he was the face of a campaign that put shed light on voting in a community that had shunned it. And so there are people like just going to get that stamp for voting. You can almost say that's Diddy, man, because nobody wasn't putting no voting stamps on in 1981, 1980, 84, 88, 90, 92. You wasn't, hey, I voted. But vote or die come out, and every time now it's like, look, I got a stamp. I voted. I'm not saying that that's the definition of Diddy. I'm just saying it's so unique how we'll define people. And I'm not caping for Diddy. I'm not caping for Diddy. I don't want to sound like that. I'm just saying it's just unique because, man, we can go in everybody's closet and find something. We can go in everybody's closet and say, even a person that we think, and because I could be like, man, oh, that person stole. That's the worst thing you can do ever. That person lied to his wife. That person did, and we can say, hey, how could you? That's the word. Martin Luther King. They were trying to crucify him because he's stuff. I'm like, man, I'm not agreeing with what he did, but I'm saying, bro, if you want to define somebody by my theory is we are not pieces of what we do. We're the totality of the being. We're a totality. We have our ups and our downs as human beings, but we always want to talk about all the highs, all the lows. When it's like we're totality, man. Not caping for Diddy. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm not on his side or against him. I'm just looking at it from a lens. Like, damn, man, we would like. I don't know. Like, it's just tough to think.
I don't think we're ever gonna find the truth out. I know that.
Yeah.
We're never gonna find the actual truth out.
The money's gonna wipe everything away.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna find the actual truth.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, yeah. Cause you know what? Because the truth is so subjective, bro. The truth is so subjective. Because one person be like blah blah blah, and the other person that was in the room with that person at the same time be like, man, that's not what I saw. And they were standing side by side. You know what I'm saying? But from his vantage point, Puffy pulled the gun out. From his vantage point, Puffy handed the gun to Shine. From his vantage point, Shine pulled the gun out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they all in the same room at the same time. Like,
But from the young lady's vantage point who got shot in the face that night, she saw Diddy shoot her.
that's what I'm saying. But the person that's standing next to Diddy, the person that's standing next to Diddy was like, nah, Diddy handed the gun to Shine.
Because
I
he got
was
paid
right
because
there.
because he got paid to say it. Shine got paid to take the charge.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so and that's why I say
it's
when
always
you'll never find this situations like this when you're dealing with people with this much power, you're never gonna find the truth out, bro. Like we're never gonna find the actual truth. Somebody's gonna
why
take
does
the
Diddy
fall.
have power, bro?
Somebody's gonna be
Why
a
do-
scapegoat. I don't know why.
Mhm.
I don't know what he does behind the scenes. He has, you know what? Sometimes when you are a like prime example, Jeffrey Epstein. You know, people for the longest, people trying to figure out what the hell does he do to get so much money and how does he have so much power? You know what I'm saying? And when you harken back to Street Kings and you realize Forrest Whitaker's character, why did he have so much power in the city? And it was because of his secret wall he had in his house, where he had dirt on every politician, every judge, every police chief, all of that. He had dirt on everybody. And because he had the dirt on him, they bowed down to his to his will until his usefulness ran out. And I don't think that that's too far fetched from the truth. Sometimes it might not be to that extreme, but that's why for the longest Jeffrey Epstein had success and was able to have his run of whatever he wanted to do because he provided a service for powerful people. And it's probably the same thing with Diddy. Outside of his accolades and what he did within music, he made a lot of people a lot of money, and he may have also provided a service for a lot of rich and wealthy, powerful people. Same thing with R. Kelly. R. Kelly was able to have his fun with his devices until his usefulness ran out, until he wasn't making the people he was making money at the clip that he was. And the pros of doing business with him didn't outweigh the cons.
See, now you made me think. Now you made me change my whole position. I think it's all a lie, bro. Because
You think all is what a lie?
the reason why I said because if going by walking down the street you're walking down, you know how many people that would implicate, bro. You know how many people that would if we're saying Diddy, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton. You know how many people that would implicate. You know, like
Yeah, I do.
Just in their circle. Let's say, well, let's just go with this R. Kelly and this circle of people, and all these people who were complacent and who were hands on, who are like we don't have to guess. We can visually see. Yeah, they were riding with R. Kelly.
Yeah,
we posted up, right?
A lot of music execs.
I'm talking about a lot of. We don't have to go that far out the totem pole. I'm saying
you can start with the parents if you want to keep it a buck.
We don't have to go there. I'm talking about the contemporaries, the people who worked and built with this guy, right? So if we are going to crucify R. Kelly, there's a lot of people
should be crucified with him. I agree.
Who should be right there? But
I've said that from the start. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if that's the case, then why is it fair, or why do we? Well, I'm asking the question rhetorically, but also I'm saying, like, people want to have a villain, bro. They want to have somebody to point the finger at. That's the bad guy.
So, all right. Speaking of R. Kelly,
yeah,
we knew from speaking of R. Kelly, from the facts that came out and all of that shit. R. Kelly had handlers, and we knew that. R. Kelly had handlers. The evidence showed R. Kelly had handlers that would set up these rendezvous for these young ladies that he wanted. These people testified for immunity in lighter sentences or whatever.
Yeah.
They testified to put him behind bars. You have the DAs that will give people leniency. They will do deals with people to let them off the hook so they can get
the big fish.
But
R. Kelly was the big fish.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the Jay-Z's and the Swiss Beats and all the other guys that
1000% Jay-Z distanced himself from R. Kelly. Jay-Z put out a song saying I'm innocent with R. Kelly with that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
And then once R. Kelly himself became a problem for Jay-Z, that's when Jay-Z distanced himself from R. Kelly.
But what I'm saying, but you.
And that's true.
He came out with a song, riding along with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
When they're both going through their same thing at the same time.
1000%.
And he's singing, he's innocent. We're both innocent, right?
I feel that, yeah.
Let's go before that. Even before the R. Kelly, even before this incident, Jay-Z is rumored to be with Beyonce when she's
Mhm.
so and so. He's rumored to be with Foxy Brown when
Mhm.
she's so and so. You have oodles and oodles of video proof of seeing like, yeah, this 25-year-old dude is hugged up with a 16-year-old, with a
Yeah.
15-year-old, with a, you see that, right? So, and I'm not to pick on Jay-Z, but just saying there's many people like that. There's R. Kelly is pictured with Aaliyah and other people all together, other people, you know what I'm saying? Besides, it's other people that are other entertainers that we just be like, oh man, I'm like, why people want to have a bad guy? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just indicative of our society.
I
I
think
guess that we,
everybody's not. So that's why you have your boy Lucian putting out statements now, because his name is attached to some of the stuff that's attached with Diddy. Jay-Z's name is attached to some of the stuff. And you got Jay-Z distancing himself from who's supposed to be his best friend. You got Lucian distancing himself now from Puff, somebody who he has did so much business with over the years, someone who has attended all of these parties, someone whose name has came up within all of this. He's distancing himself. So someone's gonna be the scapegoat. The truth and the amount of people who were involved, we'll never know. There are names on that list that we will never know that were involved, and it can't see the light of day. Same thing with Epstein, and that's just fact.
it just seems I agree with you, and it seems to me it just seems very hypocritical because, like I said, just
Oh,
because you get caught, now I'm distancing myself from you because, like, but you was right beside me for the last 30 years, man.
but
Like
but
Jay Z
I'm
Jay Z and Diddy been basically side by side
1000%. That's why you
for the
don't
last 30 years.
1000%. That's why you don't. I thought it was strange when the Rock Nation brunch got canceled. This past time. This ain't nothing new. I honestly truly believe when Diddy changed his name. You remember when Diddy changed his name to Brother Love, and he got
Brother Love.
online and
Yeah.
started trying to apologize for his past discretions and praying to the Lord and all of that shit. And we thought Jaguar Wright was crazy because she was like, "Yeah, it's going to come down on him." I think he knew what was going to come down then. This Cassie shit had been going on for a minute. You know what I'm saying? This Cassie shit just ain't pop up within a couple of months and he paid off. This Cassie shit had been going on for about a year and a half before the public even knew about it. Diddy has enough, and the other piece is Diddy has enough powerful friends that probably still owe him favors, that also probably want to be connected. That man knew Homeland was coming before Homeland came. That's why both his private jets moved so much within the days leading up to that. And that's why one of his private jets went out of the country without him on it. And my 10-4 hat is on now, and I believe he moved some shit out the country.
Yeah, the evidence is gone.
He moved some shit or a person or both out of the country. Because that man was sitting in Miami while his plane was out the country in a place with no jurisdiction.
We'll find the good thing about 2024 is that unlike 30 years ago, 20 years ago, it is very hard to hide information because it's so accessible to any. Like there's a 15-year-old kid somewhere in Omaha or somewhere in Detroit that can literally get into Diddy's personal account. Like, there's a 15-year-old kid. There's a 15-year-old kid.
There's a 15-year-old kid who might have the skills too, but when you start talking about people, Puffy is either at a bill or right under the bill. There are some people that have enough encryption and enough checkpoints. You're not. No. If they want to bury something, it's gonna be buried. If they want to bury something, it's gonna be buried.
If you have information stored somewhere, it's never buried because it's stored somewhere.
Man, I hear what you're saying, but I hear what you're saying. I know how computers work. I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is there are things that people above our pay grade, pay scale, whatever you want to say, have access to some shit that we can't even think of.
You think I'm gonna get off this right? Just let them ask. You think that the Russians or the Chinese government, or you don't think that they Like, if they can infiltrate the United States government, if they can have influence on our elections, you don't think they can get in Diddy's private account?
See,
Who says Diddy doesn't have these people working for him already?
That's the only question I would ask. But I'm saying,
I
if
think,
that's the case,
but see,
man,
when you even ask me that though, I don't believe that Russia, China, America, the any country like that
yeah,
that is considered one of the superpowers of the world.
yeah,
I think when you hear about the Russians hacking the Americans hacking the Chinese hacking the Israelis, when
yeah.
you hear about that, I I don't believe that it's I don't believe that it's the most important information. I think of the shit America does not want anyone to know, no one will find out. Same thing with the Russians. The shit that the Russians don't want nobody to know, nobody gonna find out. Same thing with Chinese. If I
I
don't
mean, but
want you to
how?
know, if I don't want you to know, you ain't gonna find out. Now, are some things compromised? Yes. But the top secret of top secret shit that these governments don't want to get out, it
Yeah.
ain't getting out.
I'll leave it. Okay, I'll leave it on this then. I know it's that. I just, like I
Mm.
said, I would say this: the flaw of any institution is the human element. Like, I don't care how you snip it out, how you play it out. Humans are unpredictable, and if it's a human element in something, it can be breached, because all it takes is one person with access to be like, man, here. That's
You're
all it
right.
takes.
You're right.
That's all it
And
takes.
you're right. You're right. It only takes one person with access to say, here you go. But
Yeah,
also, when and I'll just United States as an example,
yeah,
but
yeah,
also with that one person is ready to say, here you go. The moment that one person hits that button that he thinks no one knows that he just downloaded that and he just did that, yeah, it's going to be a couple of black cars pulling up and you don't hear from them no more.
I mean, that might happen. Like, I mean,
Man, you know why
there,
I worked
yeah,
at the airport like 10 years ago, bro. And then
yeah,
we can go to a different topic. I was at the airport like 10 years ago, bro, and nobody knew that the president was touching down in Houston. Nobody knew. Like
yeah,
nobody knew at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here in my truck, chilling. And I looked to the left and I saw like a little black Suburban. I ain't think of nothing. I ain't think of nothing to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, you look up, Air Force One is touching down. And then I look to the right
Yeah.
again. It was like 30 fucking black SUVs. I don't know where. It's like they spawned out of nowhere, bro. It's like they materialized
yeah,
out of thin air. And I'm just the most top secret of top secret shit.
yeah.
Nobody's know.
But I'm saying, that, like, in order to materialize some people, that telling people, hey, or that, like, if let's say I'm a government agent, and they have to call me and say, you on standby from this day to this day. They won't tell me the day that he's coming, but you're on standby for this month just in case. So if he just says to my wife, I'm on standby, and his wife is like, where's John? And I know his wife is what you call it. I mean, but anyway,
I'm just saying,
yeah,
no one knows. The United States government has like 8 nuclear subs rolling around oceans of the world,
yeah, yeah.
and the human element is involved. Yet no one person knows where they're at all times, and that's what I mean by the most top secret of top secret shit.
Yeah,
They're not gonna find
we just
out.
gotta, we just gotta, we gotta get us a spy on the show, a real life spy, and see, he can say like, yeah, man,
A real
I
life
used to
spy ain't
run
gonna
up.
tell you ain't gonna tell you the truth.
I don't know, man. See, what I'm saying is, I don't know, man. I don't know.
A
Like,
real
I
life,
think
a real life
humans,
spy is not gonna tell you the truth.
every single monarchy, every single, they've all crumbled, and they all crumbled for the exact same reason. From the beginning of time, they all crumbled for the same reason, because
Whistleblowing.
that's all it is. Somebody's gonna say something. It's not
Yeah.
the tightest, the Vatican, bro. Like, for us to have conversations about the Vatican and say that, oh yeah, they was touching priests, man. Somebody had to say something, bro. Somebody in
Mhm.
the Vatican had to say something, man. Because they can have allegations all you want to, but somebody on the inside. So at any point, in any regime, at any level, with any level of security, if you have a human involved, it can be man.
But in the
But
same breath and in the same example of that, the Vatican has miles of data of books of forbidden information underneath the city that nobody knows what the fuck is down there. So I get what you're saying, but
yeah, how you know it's down
that's
there?
another piece. It's down there.
But how you know it's down
We
there?
don't know what's there. They'll tell you
No.
they have that. It's no secret that the Vatican has a library of information and knowledge. They'll tell you
So
that.
so- yeah,
They will
so
tell you
somebody
that,
know,
but no,
we just
but
don't know. But somebody knows.
they'll tell you that, but
Yeah.
not too many people know the contents of it and what's in it.
Yeah,
It's above the pay rate, like they
yes,
say.
yes. Yeah. Man, it's been a long night, man. I need to get, man. But you said something at this at he was talking about uh uh uh. uh I lost it. It's something you had said, but
I just know why you're single though. I know why you're single, man. You can't be rolling around in America, United States of America, man, being a masseuse and a stretch therapist. You know what I'm talking about? You know, and then you walking around here sounding like Idris Elba, man. I know what you was doing out there in Atlanta with them girls that work the rain, bro. You know,
Well, you have to carry yourself with charisma and panache.
I bet
you have to brand yourself. It's like that.
I bet you
Then
would.
you throwing out words like charisma and
look,
panache.
man,
Like
that's
you're
what
not
I'm saying.
I
lived in
Atlanta
for a year,
I'm not
bro.
brother love, but I give love to everyone.
I bet you do. I lived in Atlanta for a year, bro, and you know, I'm pretty sure you was able to decipher who was a shim and who was a hot. You know what I'm saying? And I know you single going, hey, giving these dancers at rain massages, bro. You probably walked in there with your Idris Elba on, and then you know what I'm talking about. You probably did your thing. I feel you, bro. That's a hustle right there.
I wish I was invited to one of these parties. I probably would have blown up. You know, made some kind of millions somehow.
And see, you know, my wife, she said that she's looking for the stretchy massage, but I ain't sending her to your office because I ain't.
No.
I ain't sending my wife to your office. You walking around here sounding like Idris Elba. Hell no. Nah.
I let my work do the talking. You know, if people guys work with me, no one can come and say, "Hey, Manny did this." No, I'm very confident about that. There's something I always tell people. Guess what? If I shag your wife, right, or your girlfriend, the day you guys have a confrontation, right, you go against each other. She mentions my name, right? You know, it takes only you booking a massage to have me popped. So why would I risk my life, right, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, for her boyfriend or husband to just book a massage? I bring my table and he shoots me out the door. And he's like, yeah, I'll go to jail for it, but I'm gone.
Hey, you responsible, man, because I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had them powers, it sounded like Idris Elba, bro, I mean, everybody wife. You know what I'm talking
about? I do it all the time, sir. I do all the
time. But you always have to always respect the work, you know?
Yeah.
If she was single and went on a date, something like that, that's quite different, you know?
I'll ask you a question. This is what I was thinking about. So
the Men in Black kind of thing.
Yeah. Have you been indoctrinated to any of the Houston music?
No.
So you have so you haven't heard.
I've heard music. I've heard different genres of music, but I don't know which one is Houston, which is this. You know, lately I heard Beyonce joined country.
Yeah.
And I heard a few songs of hers. They sound like the same Beyonce songs, but it's just a different way of singing it. So okay.
Totally agree.
Beyonce don't count as H-time music though. Go ahead though, Boog. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say, have you? So you haven't heard any screw music, have you?
Who would you compare to have done a screw music? I wouldn't know what's. I probably heard it, but I don't know what it's called.
There was a popular DJ in Houston. He passed away in the early 2000s, but he created a style of music where he would slow the records down, slow the pitch down, and he would chop the record. So he would be a DJ mixing and blending and chopping, but he would slow the record down, and it became popularized because it went well with one of the popular drinks we had, which was a codeine mix they drank called syrup. And so, of course, drinking the syrup and with the soda or whatever, it slow you down. The music was slowed and the chopping. It's been. I think Screw started like in 92, 93, something like 93 and
I
early
would have to do my
2000.
research on this now.
Yeah. I would
I don't like
recommend.
the way you just explained Screw. You know what I'm talking about? I
You
don't
like
like
that?
the way you explained it though.
He
I mean,
butchered it.
let me rephrase it.
Yeah.
Let me you explained it
Yeah.
to the T of what it is.
Yeah.
But being an H-Town native as yourself, I don't
Yeah.
like the way you said syrup. You said syrup.
I was trying to make it clean for the.
I mean, nah, but you from H-Town still, bro. So
I had to
when
make it clean for the brother. I can't have him walking
Nah,
around saying syrup because they gonna think they gonna give him some. I
when
want him
you
to be
nah,
syrup's
you
like
from
I want him
you
that
from
syrup.
you are from H-Town, bro. It is your responsibility when you describing the late great DJ Screw. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? You gotta let them know what a great tape is, what syrup is, lean, purple. You know what I'm talking about? All that. You even gotta tell him when he go talk about it, he gotta say, you know what I'm talking about, what it do, Robert Davis tape, great tape, you know, all of that.
I mean, I feel like he's a seeker of knowledge, so I'm pretty
That's
sure
that's a
that
very
he'll.
important part of the knowledge is
You
to
see, he made it sound better than the way you said it.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about? You from H-Town, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you from H-Town by way of Uganda, but still you are H-Town vet. You know, I'm third war
I'm
veteran, bro.
I'm on both sides of the fence on the Screw thing. We had this talk before. I told you, like I grew up. I literally grew up with the guys who created Screw music. I see those guys walking down the street, going to school. I see these guys, driving down the street, whatever. Used to hang out with someone, whatever. But on the other side, I'm like, man, a lot of these guys passed away from the codeine, and they're
We
still
not
singing
champion.
about it.
I get you. We not going now. We ain't saying champion the drink, but you know what I'm talking about. You got to explain it in a way that is so H-Town, not so Rice Professor. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of
That's
like
all I'm saying.
it's kind of like if I grew up with Epstein and we've been homeboys all our life, you know what I'm saying, and they tell me like, oh man, he doing this, and he be inviting me to his parties because that's my homeboy. We homeboy because we grew up together. But then at his party, he's doing this, so I'm like, man, that's my homeboy. We just partying. But then they're like, but he be doing. I'm like, oh man, I ain't. Well, I thought so, but that's not how I get down. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with Scrum. Like, they're my partners.
No. The difference with that is though that you, like myself,
Yeah.
embrace the Screw culture. You know what I'm talking about? Now, if you Epstein homeboy, you might not embrace the Epstein culture, so you can talk about it like a Rice Professor. But me and you,
The party part. I embrace the party part of Epstein. I'm his partner. He a party mofo. Like, man, we party, maybe we going to islands and have parties. It be girls everywhere, man. I don't,
yeah, but them
but
girls
I
be
ain't know they was
14.
18. I didn't know that. I've been knowing it since we was 12.
See, there you go. The absence of knowledge can't be an excuse. So just because you didn't know they was 12, don't mean you excuse, my brother.
Ignorance.
Ignorance.
Ignorance is bliss, though, man.
Ignorance ain't an excuse, goddammit. You know what I'm
Nope.
talking about? When you know your
Ignorance is
homeboy
bliss,
sketchy,
though.
you got the hey young lady, where your ID at? Oh, you ain't got no ID, man. Don't come party next to me.
Nope. Probably look away.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go over here with the young ladies who have ID.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you did, right? But then they still said, man, you at that party, man. I was on the other side of the island, bro. I was on the 18 upside the whole time.
Yep. As long as there are no 14-year-olds that's saying that I was partying with them, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Same thing with Diddy, man. Ain't nobody
It was
said
just a party.
ain't no young lady said Jamie
Y'all
Foxx.
sound real sketchy,
Ain't no young lady or young man said Jamie Foxx gave them the business. Now they might have said Stevie J did, you know what I'm talking about, and I kind of believe him, but
Yeah.
What you got next,
that
Bug?
note,
This has been a great interview, man. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
this has been a
this
wonderful
podcast,
interview,
man?
bro. Name of this
Thank
podcast.
you.
Hey, this is the 16 Shots Podcast with Young James Boogie
James Boogie, you are crazy.
and AR Dub. And our partner from London, man. Give him your real name. You know what I'm talking about?
Many Smiles is the name.
That's not even fair. I had a friend named Lorenzo Casanova, man, growing up, and I was like, bro, how can I say my name after you? How did
You can't,
go
bro.
up to two girls and it's like, yeah, my name is Lorenzo Casanova. I'm like,
And then what would you, so what you tell him? But hold on.
You want me to do it in a good voice now? Is that what you want?
No, I'm just
I have
saying.
I have the good voice.
But hold on,
You-
bud.
I just spoke normal.
You can compete with Lorenzo Casanova though, bro.
I
Especially-
cannot compete.
I'm gonna tell you how
with
you can compete with.
Lorenzo
You can,
He
bro.
got two of the greatest sex.
It all
names
depends,
to
bro.
me.
Hold on, bro. Because you're from Africa for real, and you have an African name, bro. You kind of, depending on how you spit it to them, you could get off with Jablani Satole, and it'll be like, oh yeah, you can do that, bro. You really can, bro.
Lorenzo Casanova, bro.
And
Casanova right there. I mean, that's a world.
pause,
That's a
and
world
pause.
renowned.
But the two
Yeah.
young ladies who said, "Man, I was partying with Lorenzo Casanova and Jablani Satole." Like, hold on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, if
Hey.
Lorenzo Casanova and Aaron Williams, come on,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, you know what
I
I'm talking
mean,
about?
Aaron is kind of blander, but then in the same
It
breath,
is blend,
Also,
it's blender, bro. You low key got an exotic name, bro. Pause.
also,
So London
Lorenzo-
is my middle name.
So what's your
see, it's
full
like-
name again?
Manny London Smiles.
Oh yeah, you cheating.
So
bro.
man.
my mom decided London because that's where she met my dad. So
Yeah.
they kept London. So
See, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
that Manny Smiles, like he could be a rapper, a singer, a poet.
so I recently just found out about what's his
Fresh.
name? Manny Fresh. I
Yeah.
didn't know until 4 months ago. Someone said, "Do you know who Manny Fresh is?" I said, "Who's that?" And I have to do my research. So now to explain my name, sometimes I have to say, "Oh, do you know Manny Fresh?" Yeah, like that.
Dope man, Manny Fresh. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dope, man.
I heard he
dope.
was the first. He was the aim for DJ Khaled. They wanted to be like him. So
Oh, Khaled wanted to be like Dill Boy Manny Fresh.
He did.
no,
I can
like
see- I
back in
can
the day when they were
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
younger, they wanted to be like him.
Hey,
Now
Manny
people want to be
Fresh
like DJ
yeah.
Khaled.
Manny Fresh was
Yeah.
that guy, legendary producer out in New Orleans, man. Is Manny Fresh from New Orleans?
I believe so.
Or is he from one of them country towns outside of New Orleans? I don't know.
Probably the country town. Probably country town.
Yeah.
Man, see, so that means you never heard songs like Project Bitch and High and Soldier Rags.
But where did you grow up at, Manny?
I probably have heard those songs, but don't know who sang it.
Where did
So
you
that's
grow up
the
at, Manny?
What do you say?
Where did you grow up from? Where did you grow up at?
Preston, England, and that's the northwest of England. It's closer to Manchester.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
I'm not from London. Don't worry.
But they see
Put up your
that's
Soldier
the way
Rags.
he
Put
even
up your
said
Soldier Rags.
the way he even said Preston, England, next to Manchester. You know they weren't listening to no Cash Money, bro. Nah, they was listening to
Cash
some
Money records.
sophisticated shit while they was drinking some tea, which I love tea, by the way. They were drinking Earl Grey tea, listening to some sophisticated shit, the Beatles or some shit, bro. They weren't listening to no
speaking of the Beatles, I gotta go.
Cash Money.
I gotta go because I gotta get up early. But this is one thing I'm gonna ask. I
Yeah.
really hate, like with a passion, like in my soul. I hate how English, British, singers can have the strongest British accent, like Joe Cocker, right? Have the strongest British accent you can think of.
And you sound American when you sing.
And they start singing and it sound like not American, they'll sound like a soul, like it's I'm like, he's not from Mississippi. Like, no, he's from Manchester. Or what's his name? From Freddie
Freddie
Mercury.
Mercury. Yeah.
Yeah, like, man, what? He's British? Like, nah. Like, yeah,
I do have a question, and then we
Yeah.
can bounce because I know Bug got to go. Since we brought up the Beatles and you're from England,
Yeah.
Do you know about? I'm a conspiracy guy. Do you know about the conspiracy of was it Sir Paul McCartney who they said died and they switched him with a body double?
It's not true. Don't let no one lie to you.
But you've heard that before, though, right?
Yes, I've heard that a lot. It's
Okay.
kind of like we've heard Jimmy Fox died.
yeah.
We've heard
Yeah.
stories of they kill people over the internet. They just say probably they were just sick, and someone said, "Oh, he died." No, it's not true. And
heard
I
somebody
don't
say-
believe in cloning. So it's
Yeah.
no. Until
I
I
heard
see the
somebody
clones
say-
side by side, it's not true.
I heard somebody say that Michael Jackson was the clone, and they were like,
No.
yeah. They were like, yeah, in
Yeah.
1979, He
He
got
was at a party,
cloned.
right? Was that when he was supposed to be at the party and he died he OD'd and died at the party and they cloned him or some shit like that?
No, they said
Mm.
they covered it up by him, his hair getting burned. I'm like, bro, that
Yeah.
was in 1980 something, bro. How you 79? That's them dates don't match
It was
up.
some weird ass. Yeah, they tried. Yeah, it was some weird ass shit, bro. Weird ass. Shit.
Oh,
But yeah, some weirdo shit, bro.
Well.
But one fact about the Beatles is that Ringo Starr wasn't the best drummer.
mm,
Ringo Starr wasn't the best drummer. It was the other dude.
okay. I forgot his name now.
John Lennon.
No, Ringo Starr
George-
wasn't the best drummer.
George,
it was another dude, but I think Ringo Starr is
Four of them. George. It was John Lennon, George. Forgot his last name. Ringo Starr, and Paul McCartney.
yeah, I think they switched out Ringo Starr to another drummer at one point though.
Oh, no, they had a black drummer at first. It was
Oh,
5
okay.
of them. They had a black drummer at first.
Whoever it was, I just know Ringo Starr wasn't the drummer of the hits, but for some reason he gets the FaceTime.
No, that's Pete Best.
There
That's
There
his
you
name.
go. Yeah, and he did write, but Ringo Starr did write some songs.
Yeah.
Some great songs, but he wrote them under pseudonyms.
Man, that's a fire name right there, bro. You got Ringo Starr, bro. That's a fire name right there, bro.
Not as far as Manny Smiles, man.
Thank you.
You're right.
It was
You
a
are
pleasure.
correct. You are correct.
Pleasure being here tonight. I appreciate you too. This by far has been one of the interesting podcasts I have been on. I would say because there's no filters here. We're just saying it the way you feel, not the way you've read it. And I appreciate that. And also giving me insight on screw music. Now I have to go and polish my
Screw, man.
Next time we have you on. Next time we have you on, do a little bit of research on Screw. Then we're gonna put you on to that Power Wall, Slim Thug, and some of that South Walker.
Hold on, man.
Hold
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Yeah, we're gonna put you on some of that Sauce Factory. The Sauce
And
Factory. You know what I'm talking about?
You can't say Screw and then say Paul Wall now. Come on, that's kind of disrespectful, man. You skipped over Zero, Kiki, all these living Screw members, man.
Well,
You
if he
gonna
looks
go-
into the SUC, he gonna get all of that. You know what I'm saying? Then if you see where I'm going, when he looking at Screw, he gonna get all the SUC, and then he gonna start rolling to the north side, and then he can
Probably
get
won't do
some of
that.
that Power Wall, Slim Thug, and then we turn him on to some newer stuff, the Sauce Factory with Sauce Walker. You know what I'm talking about? Oh wait, you know what I'm saying?
The
Hey.
north side and south side is like Dallas and Houston. Like we
Not
have
no
a
more,
little
not no
thing
more,
going.
not no more. We cool.
I'm a little older than you, so I
Yeah,
keep
you
it
are
going.
old nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Manny, why don't you
Yeah.
why don't you tell our audience, man, if they want to if they're in the Houston area and they want to come to you for your services, man, where can they find you at? Put your socials up, man, and whatever info you want to put up for us.
So for my social, it's wellness_Manny, and for the addresses for the places that we're working at, I would send that to the host, and that way he can just post it on his platform. I want to get confirmation first. I've been to few places which they've all said yes, you can work in our places, but for now I'm offering in-home services. I travel to wherever you are. If you're in the inner Houston, I don't know how you guys call it. I know we call it the perimeter in Atlanta. That's fine. Outside of the perimeter, you don't come with a charge, probably $30 or $40. But I always offer tell people everything. If you take care of yourself, take care of your body, it will take care of you, make you live longer. My work is mainly massage, stretch, and healing. So don't see it as just me coming to caress you. No, it's me taking care of that chronic pain. You're always in the office, you're complaining, oh, my neck, my shoulder, my back. Now, I will help you look for the solution. So I'm not just telling you, hey, I want you to come back next week. We'll work on the right side. No, I'll tell you, all right, this is the problem. Your mattress might be the problem. Most people don't know. They have a 10-year-old mattress and they keep complaining, oh, my back. No, it's that mattress. Change that mattress. And then you see how good your life can be. But don't worry, I won't be stealing your wives. And I do work with men and women, please. So that way there's no discrimination.
Gotcha.
What's up, man? I'll definitely get with you, man. Like I didn't get to tell you all the things we do, but I also have a youth program in A-Leaf, and we do food drives monthly. We have a clothing pantry. We minister to young people.
That's good.
Through the
I would
sports,
love to be a
through-
part of that. It's
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
like I
so-
said, I do volunteer to different courses. So there's something I also do. I help the homeless. I take my chair around, like a chair massage, and people are like, so you touch a homeless person and you want to touch me? And I tell them, guess what? That homeless person is a human being. He probably was richer than you before, but he fell back on something. So, and by the way, we all wash our hands and do all of that, but I wear gloves. But I rather give my time and my all to helping that person feel like a human being again, give them food to eat, walk on stretching their arms, and just let them know, like, hey, I know you sleep on the floor, but try and do this and try and do that. Than to take $500 from you that you wouldn't appreciate,
Yeah. Man, we got a couple guys that we've had on the show that do the same thing, so I might have to get y'all to link up. But once again, thank you, man. I'm glad I reached out. I'm glad you responded, and we'll have to do this. We'll have to do this again sooner than later.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Good night.
I appreciate you.